this is Sri Varalakshmi Maturi. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as a part of your MSET 2021 revision, target 70 plus mathematics, as a part of it, we have started our topic with the very important and also somewhat vital topic, that is trigonometry. You are already learned this one in your 10th class, but as a part of the revision, quick recap, we are going to learn what is from the basic side onwards. Before learning about a trigonometric or a trigonometric ratios, at first you need to know about what is an angle. Angle means the combination of any two rays with a common end point is said to be called an angle. Usually this is an angle. What are the parts of an angle mean? Every angle may consist of the two arms, namely OB and OA here. In this, OB is fixed one. There is no involvement in the rotation. So OB is said to be called fixed ray or initial ray, which is participating in the rotation. In order to make an angle, we call that is a terminal ray or rotatory ray. Now the revolution that made by the terminal ray from the fixed ray, we said to call that is the measure of an angle. First of all, OB ray and OA ray both are called the arms of an angle. They both meet at a point of O. So O is the common end point, we call that is the vertex. Usually we measure the angles in degrees. We know a revolution, a complete revolution of an angle makes 360 degrees. This one we know that. But now we are going to learn that what are the, actually we are going to learn the how, in what way we can measure an angle. From our childhood days onwards, we learned that angle is measured in degrees. Angle is measured in degrees. Now we are going to learn still any ways there to measure an angle. Yes, there are some ways to measure an angle. They are, if we measure an angle in terms of degree, the system of measuring an angle is said to be called sexagesimal system. Whenever we measure an angle in terms of gradient, we call that is centesimal system. If we measure the angle in terms of radians, we said to call it is radian measure or circular measure. First of all, what I am trying to convey is, if we measure an angle from our childhood days onwards, we know that we measure an angle in terms of a degree, that you know very well. But still any ways are there to measure an angle. Yes, there. Then how can we measure an angle? Mean, usually when an initial ray and a terminal ray, both rays were here. They were both are here like this. Then when the terminal ray, this is my index finger, this is whenever it is starts rotation and completes one particular revolution, then we call it is that one revolution is completed, so it is complete angle. Right? Then totally complete angle measurement is 360 degrees. Maybe half of the revolution means we said to call that is the straight angle. 1/4 of the revolution it is the right angle. Less than the 1/4 of the revolution we said to call that is an acute angle. More than the 1/4 of the revolution, which is said to be called obtuse angle. More than the half of the revolution, we said to call it is a reflex angle. These are the types of angles we know, but all these are having some measurement. That is, complete angle means 360 degrees we say, straight angle means 180 degrees, right angle means 90 degrees, acute angle means in between 0 and 90, obtuse angle means 90, in between the 90 degrees and 180 degrees, reflex angle means in between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. Then if we measure the angle in terms of degree, we call that is sexagesimal system. In sexagesimal system, one revolution is equal to, nothing but our complete rotation is equal to 360 degrees. Half of the revolution, nothing but one half rotation is said to be called, it is 180 degrees. 1/4 of the rotation, which is the right angle, is said to be called 90 degrees. This is about sexagesimal system. Nothing new, but you have learnt a name of the system of measuring an angle if it is measured in degrees. Second thing is about the gradients, nothing but centesimal system. Name itself a self-explanatory cent, that means it is refers the 100. If the measurement of an angle in terms of gradient, we call that is centesimal system. That is, in this system, one complete rotation, which is the complete angle, which refers the complete angle, one complete angle is equal to 400 grades. Nothing but half of the rotation is said to be called 200 grades, and 1/4 of the rotation, nothing but which is the one right angle, is said to be called 100 grades. This is about centesimal system. Then what is a degree? Degree means in any system the measure of an angle is 1/360th part of its complete rotation is said to be called a degree. Take such fine 1 degree, make it into 60 equal part, nothing but 1/60th part of a degree is said to be called a minute. It is called 1 minute. Take such one fine minute, make it into 60 further equal parts, that means 1/3060th part of a degree is said to be called 1 second. That means according to sexagesimal system, in this system angle is measured in degrees, and one revolution, nothing but one complete rotation of an angle gives that 360 degrees, and each part of the 360 part is called a degree, and half of rotation is said to be called 180 degree. 1/4 of the rotation, which is called a right angle, is 90 degree. And further, such 1 degree may further divided into 60 equal parts, we call that is a minute. Such 1 minute may be further divided into 60 other parts, means we call that is a seconds. Nothing but you can write it as 1 minute equal to 1/60 of degree. Otherwise, 1 degree equal to 60 minutes, as well as 1 minute equal to 60 seconds. This is about sexagesimal system. Then what is the centesimal? As we discussed that in any system, the measure of an angle is 1/400th part is called a grade. Such 400 grades make one complete angle. Like that, 1/4 of the rotation, which we usually call as right angle, is 100 grades. Like that, take such fine one grade, very small one, take that one and make into 100 further parts. We have to call that each part of that such grade is said to be called a minute. So, one grade equal to 100 minute. Each minute again further divided into 100 parts. Such one is said to be called a second. Nothing but in the gradient measure or centesimal measure, usually measured in a gradient, and also angle is 400 degrees. Half of the rotation refers right angle is 200 degrees, and 1/4 of rotation, which is a right angle, is 100 degrees. Now we got it. That's what is the centesimal. Usually centesimal system is otherwise called British system, which we will not use in our usual problems or anywhere. We use obviously degrees. Then next one is about radian measure or circular measure, which is very important to you from the inter first year onwards. Let's start what is meant by radian measure. Before learning about radian, at first you need to know about what is the sector of the circle. Sector of circle means the combination of the two radius with an arc is said to be called a sector. This is called the angle made by the sector whenever it is subtended by some arc. This is the length of the arc. It is denoted with the letter L, where theta is called the angle that made by the sector. These are the radius of the sector, which is denoted with the R. Then what is meant by radian? Whenever the angle subtended by an arc of the circle whose length is equal to the radius of the circle, such angle is said to be called a radian. What is a radian? The angle subtended by an arc of a circle whose length is equal to the radius of the circle, we call that is the radian. That means in this system, we measure an angle in terms of radian. It is denoted with the letter called C as a superscript. Usually, one complete angle, nothing but the one complete rotation in this system is equal to 2 pi radian. Nothing but half of rotation is equal to pi radian. 1/4 of the rotation is equal to pi by 2 radian. Then what we can say that one right angle is equal to pi by 2 radian. This is the radian measure or circular measure. Now let me find out a relationship among all these three systems are. First, radian measure, it measured in radian. One complete rotation is 2 pi radian. Next one is centesimal system. The unit of measurement in the centesimal system is grades. One rotation is equal to 400 grades. Half of the rotation is equal to 200 grades. 1/4 of the rotation is equal to 100 grades. So, pi by 2 radians is equal to 100 grades. Next one is about sexagesimal system. In sexagesimal system, we measure in terms of degrees. One rotation is equal to 360 degrees. Half of the rotation is equal to 180 degrees. 1/4 of the rotation is equal to 90 degrees. Nothing but you can get it as a pi by 2 radians is equal to 100 grades equal to 90 degrees. If we measure the radians in terms of C, it is maybe G and it is maybe D. The relationship among all the three methods is the D by 90 degrees is equal to G by 100 is equal to 2C by pi. This is the relationship among all. Then especially what is the relationship between the radian to degree is each degree is equal to 0.01745 radian, where 1 radian is equal to 57 degrees 17 minutes for, and in centesimal system further 1 grade is equal to 100 minutes, where 1 minute equal to 100 seconds. In the sexagesimal system 1 degree equal to 60 minutes, where 1 minute equal to 60 seconds. This is about the three different systems which are used to measure an angle. But we use the radian measure and sexagesimal measure. Usually we won't use the centesimal system, but we are going to learn some problems based on the sexagesimal, centesimal and radian measure, how to interconvert one system to another system. And now convert 45 degrees into radian measure, they said. We are already know about the relationship among the all the three measures, that is D by 90, that means degree measure, C by 2C by pi, it is the radian measure, and G by 100 gradient, nothing but centesimal measure. If you observe that I need that degree to radian, so take only first two. D by 90 equal to 2C by pi. Degree value take it as 45 and 90, which is equal to 2C by pi. One time and two time, then 4C equal to pi, then C equal to pi by 4. That means 45 degrees equal to pi by 4 radians. This is actual. Than this one, do we have any other way to convert the degrees into radian? Is very simple. That is, whenever we want to convert degrees to the radian, simply number of degrees 45 into each degree can be written as pi by 180. So 1 time 4 time pi by 4 is the given. This is by using the identity. This is the usual method. Now look at the second one. Convert 210 degree into radian measure. I think it is better to use the second one. 210 degrees, in what way you can convert into radian measure? 210 degrees into pi by 180. Here pi means that pi radian. Here 7 times and 6 times. So 7 pi by 6 is the equivalent radian measure for the 210 degrees. This is the first two. Now coming to the third one, that is converting the radian to degree, reverse. That is, you can use the identity or you can use the usual way. That is, 1 pi radian equal to 180 degrees means, then why can't we write pi by 4 means? It is 180 by 4, which is equal to 45 degrees. That's it, we completed. Coming to the, how can we convert the 5 pi by 6 into degree measurement? You can write 5 into pi value is anyhow we know that it is 180. Here pi means here pi radians you should think into by 6. 1 time and 30 time. So you can write it is 150. So what we can write is 5 pi by 6 equal to 150 degrees. Now we came to the fifth problem. Now I want to convert 30 degrees into centesimal system. For this, you already know about the relationship among all the three systems is D by 90 means degree measure, G by 100 centesimal measure, 2c by pi, which is the radian measure. You want degree measure and gradient measure, then take these two. And now degree is what? 30 degrees by 90 is equal to, you don't know how many grades are those, then it is equal to g by 100. One time, 3 times. Then you can write 3g equal to 100, where g is equal to 100 by 3. Means 30 degrees equal to 33 1 by 3 grades is the gradient method. Maybe the same thing if you want to reverse the centesimal system to degree method also, with the help of our identity you can find out very easily. Now coming to sixth one, this is somehow important to you, that is sometimes they are asking you to measure the given degree measure to the radian measure in this way. So what we are going to do is, first of all what we require is take 40 degrees and 20 minutes. You all know that 40 degrees okay, but 20 minutes means, you know that each degree is 60 minutes, means 20 degrees, 20 minutes is 20 by 60 degrees, which is 1 by 3 degree. So 40 degrees and 1 by 3 means you can write it as 41 by 3 degree, which is 121 by 3 degree. Now you know that in what way you can convert the degree to the radian method. That is very simple, multiplying with the pi by 180. Is there any cancellation? Means no such cancellation. 121 pi by 540. This is the radian measure for the 40 degrees 20 minutes. Let's move to the seventh one. How to convert the radian to the degree measure. We all know that how to convert radian to the degree measure, that is very clearly we can write that d by 90 is equal to g by 100 equal to 2c by pi. But simply we can write that 1 radian is equal to 180 degrees by pi. That means 6 radians is equal to 6 into 180 by pi, which is 1080 by pi. Pi means anyhow we know that 1080 into pi means it's 22 by 7, approximately 7 by 22. 1080 into 7 means it is 7560 by 22. Still simplification, 3780 by 11. After simplification I got 343 7 by 11 degree. Maybe this is the option, okay, you can write. Maybe this is not the option, they are asking you to still simplifying the degree. Mean what we will do is, we all know that each degree is equal to 60 minutes. That is why let me separate the fractional part. 343 plus 7 by 11 into 60. So you can write 343 degrees plus 7 into 60 is 420 by 11. Then 343 plus in 11 table 38 2 by 11 came. So these many minutes. Now 343 degrees plus 38 minutes plus 2 by 11 minute. Now still simplification means we know each minute is 60 seconds. So 343 degrees plus 38 minutes plus 120 by 11, which is 343 degrees 38 minutes, and it is 10 seconds approximately. Then what is the measure of 6 radians equal to 343 degrees 38 minutes 10 seconds will be the value of the radian. This is about conversions of one system to another system. Let's move to the, now we came to the our actual topic, trigonometry. The trigonometry as derived from a Greek word which means that trigon and a metron. It's a couple of words, trigon and metron, which means that measuring the sides of a triangle is said to be called trigonometry. That means it completely involves the solving the sides of a triangle, or which involves the geometrical operations with the. Now, first of all, before learning about what are the terms that is relevant to trigonometry, we need to learn about what are the types of a triangle. You know very well what are the types of the triangle. Those are usually 6 parts are there for a triangle. Maybe if it is ABC a triangle, 3 sides will be there. Then AB, BC, CA are the sides. Angle BAC simply A. Angle ABC simply angle B. Angle ACB simply angle C. These are the 6 parts of a triangle. Nothing but 3 sides and 3 angles are called 6 parts of a triangle, or nothing but parts of a triangle. Based on the parts of the triangle, on the basis of the side, usually there are 3 kinds. If all sides are equal, we can say that is an equilateral triangle. In an equilateral triangle, every angle is 60 degrees. And second one is, any 2 sides are maybe equal, we call that is isosceles triangle. No 2 sides are equal, we call that is the scalene triangle. Based on the angles, if all the angles are acute angles, we call that is acute angle triangle. Maybe at least one is obtuse angle, only one is obtuse angle. Maximum number of obtuse angles in a triangle is only one. So one is there, we call that is obtuse angle triangle. Maybe one right angle is there, we call that is a right angle triangle. These are the some types of the triangle. They are based on the sides equilateral, isosceles and scalene. Based on the angles, acute angle, obtuse angle and right angle triangle. Now let's talk about right angle triangle now. Now I have considered the 3 right angled triangles. Let me name this triangle is ABC. Usually the sides of a right angle triangle can be identified with some names. Those are, the side which is the opposite to right angle is said to be called the longest side of the right angle triangle, which is called hypotenuse. So which side is opposite to right angle is called hypotenuse. Then remaining 2 angles are usually acute angle. That means the remaining 2 angles in a right angle triangle which are acute are called the angle of references. Nothing but which angle we are going to be considered, or which angle we are going to be evaluated, we call those are the angle of reference. For example, angle of references are denoted with the Greek symbol called theta, alpha, beta, gamma. Like these symbols we will use. For example, I want to consider theta here. Now like this it is there. As we know that the side which is opposite to right angle is hypotenuse, so AC is hypotenuse. Then what is BC and AB, which are not the opposite to right angle, are called usually legs of right angle triangle, leg 1 and leg 2. But now based on the angle of reference, you can classify the leg 1 and leg 2 with some special names. How? If you consider one of the acute angle as an angle of reference, that which side is exactly opposite to such angle of reference is said to be called that side of a right angle triangle, or one of the leg of a right angle triangle is perpendicular or opposite side, which is left over and which is adjacent to such angle of reference is called adjacent side or base. What I am trying to convey is, usually in a right angle triangle, two legs and one hypotenuse will be there. But based on the acute angle position which you are considering, you can classify them into two ways, that is perpendicular or opposite, adjacent or base. Maybe if you consider this is an alpha is an angle of reference, for alpha what is the perpendicular mean? BC is the perpendicular, and what is left over AB is called the base. That means based on the acute angle position, base as well as perpendiculars will be there. Now coming to here in the triangle PQR, obviously PR is the hypotenuse because which is opposite to right angle. Rest of two are called one leg one and another is leg. But in the which is perpendicular and which is the base, usually based on the acute angle which we consider, nothing but angle of reference it will be. Now if I consider this is as a considerable angle theta, now leg 2 is called perpendicular where leg 1 is called the base. In the triangle XYZ, clearly X is the right angle is situated, so we call that YZ is the hypotenuse. Then which is the perpendicular and which is the base means based on the angle of reference situation. So maybe it is angle of reference theta. For the theta, which is the opposite and which is the base means XY is called opposite where XZ is the base. These are the situations. If you are here, it is x-axis and y-axis. I have taken a Cartesian plane where O is the origin. Maybe some OM is a initial ray where OP is some terminal ray, where a point on the terminal ray point P is there. P is having the coordinates as x comma y. Then the angle made by POM angle is theta, which is we taken in an anti-clockwise direction. Usually if the angle is like this, we measuring in an anti-clockwise, like nothing but counter-clockwise direction. We call that which are measured in counter-clockwise direction are positive angles. Now I have taken an angle. Now if you observe that if I draw a perpendicular from the point P to the axis x-axis, it is exactly y unit. If I draw a horizon to the that particular point is called x. Now this is the x, this is the y, and it is obviously if we taken that some radius or maybe hypotenuse around the point. Now what are the, for theta what is y means it is opposite. For theta what is r means it is an hypotenuse. For theta what is x means it is the adjacent. Now what are the three measures there, x comma y comma r. Let me write the possible ratios with the x, y, r sides. Those are x by y, y by r by y, and y by r completed. So y by x, r by x, x by r. Other than this says, can we frame any other ratios? No, we can't frame. more than these ratios, that means only 6 possible ratios are there. Here X refers that adjacent, Y refers that opposite, like that. Now if you observe that these are the possibility, the ratio which is the formed by the opposite with hypotenuse, such ratio is called sine of an angle theta. Simply it is sine theta. Nothing but sine theta can be written as opposite by hypotenuse. The ratio which is formed by the opposite and hypotenuse is called sine theta. Next, coming to that, the ratio which tells about adjacent with the hypotenuse is called cosine of an angle theta, that is simply called cos theta, adjacent by hypotenuse. The ratio which formed by the opposite with adjacent, that is called tangent of the angle theta, simply called tan theta, and it is may be formed by the adjacent with opposite, it is called cotangent of an angle theta, simply cot theta, and if it is formed by the hypotenuse by opposite is called cosecant of an theta, we call it is cosec theta, and at last it is formed by hypotenuse and adjacent, we call secant of an angle theta is called secant theta. These 6 ratios are said to be called trigonometric functions or trigonometric ratio, and learning about these is our topic. So what are the 6? Sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cot theta, cosecant theta and secant theta are the 6 possible ratios. If you have observed, the sin theta equal to opposite by hypotenuse, where cosecant theta equal to hypotenuse by opposite. That means, are they multiplicative inverses to each other? Yes, that is why sin and cosecant are reciprocal to each other. Sin theta into cosecant theta, that means opposite by hypotenuse into hypotenuse by opposite will get cancelled, gives 1. These two are called reciprocal ratios. They are sin theta into cosecant theta equal to 1. So you can write sin equal to 1 by cosecant theta, where cosecant theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. In the same manner, if you observe cos and secant are reciprocal to each other and tan and cot, then in what way you can write cos theta into secant theta is equal to 1. So you can write cos theta is equal to 1 by secant theta, where secant theta is equal to 1 by cos theta. Next, tan theta and cot theta, they are also reciprocal to each other. Then you can write them as tan theta is equal to 1 by cot theta, as well as cot theta is equal to 1 by tan theta. And moreover, usually we know that tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. Then can we write opposite by adjacent as opposite by hypotenuse by adjacent by hypotenuse? Because hypotenuse is a non-zero value. So you can divide any fraction, both numerator and denominator, with a non-zero value. So you can write opposite by hypotenuse is nothing but the sin theta, and adjacent by hypotenuse is cos theta. That means you can express tan theta is equal to sin theta by cos theta, where cot theta can be expressed as cos theta by sin theta. These are the interrelationship between the one ratio to another ratio. Now if you observe that, we all know that every right angle triangle must follow the Pythagoras theorem. Then write that Pythagoras theorem can be written as hypotenuse square is equal to side 1 square plus side 2 square. Then hypotenuse square can be written as side 1 square. Why can't we write it as a opposite square? Because the leg 1. And another one, for any some theta, you can write it is adjacent square. Then let me divide with hypotenuse square, which is the non-zero value on both sides. Now what will happen? Hypotenuse square cancel. 1 equal to opposite by hypotenuse, adjacent by hypotenuse. You know already what is opposite by hypotenuse, which is the sine theta. So 1 equal to sine square theta plus adjacent by hypotenuse, which is equal to cos theta. So cos theta whole square means don't write a cos square theta, theta square. This is wrong. Cos theta whole square is nothing but cos square theta. Angle is unaffected while you square it or multiplied anything. Angle is unaffected. So we can write that 1 equal to sine square theta plus cos square theta. We call these are the identities. Then let me list out the rest of the identities once. What is that? In between sine and cos, what identity is there? Sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. And until now what we discussed? What are the relationship between the one ratio to another ratio? What are the 6 possible trigonometric ratios? And now how one can be expressed in terms of other, we have learned it. Let me list out the remaining identities also. Now these are the 3 identities. They are sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1, secant square theta minus tan square theta equal to 1, cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. These are the 3 identity, and how can we express the rest of it also. Now it's time to learn about how to find out the value of trigonometric ratios for some specified angle, simply called standard angles, which we are frequently using. We call those as standard angle. This is you learnt in your 10th class already. Only for purpose of recap I am explaining this. Now you know what are the standard angle. They are 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees and 60 degrees and 90 degrees are there. Usually these are called the standard angle. How can we calculate the standard angle values? You know very well. But with the help of the geometrical proofs you can calculate the values of all these. But to remember in easier manner, very simple, write the 0 to 4 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide with 4 and apply the square root. So 0 by 4 square root is 0. Then what is the value of root over 1 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2, square root of 1 by 4. Square root of 2 by 4 means simplify it 1 time and 2 times. Square root of 1 by 2 is 1 by root 2. Coming to the square root of 3 by 4. Square root of 3 is not there. So root 3, root 4 is can be written as 2. Then what is the root 4 by 4 means, which is 1, root 1 is 1. Just by knowing the sin theta value, you can fill the rest of all ratios. That is very simple if you know the sin value. But sin value also without remembering, we got it with the help of a simple technique. Now reverse these values, you will get the what? We will get the what are the cos value, that is 1. Reverse it, that means root 3 by 2. 1 by root 2, 1 by 2 and 0. In the previous session we have learned that how can we express the tan as in terms of sine and cos. So sin theta by cos theta value is tan theta value. That means 0 by 1, 0. 1 by 2 and root 3 by 2. 2 cancel 1 by root 3. So I am finding the tan theta value with the help of sine and cos. But cos we got from the sine. Next. Sine and cos. Root 2 cancel, then 1. Imagine yourself 2 cancel. It is root 3 by 1, nothing but root 3. 1 by 0 means something by 0 is always undefined. So we got the undefined value. We all know that sine is the reciprocal of cosecant. So reciprocal values of sine are the cosecant value. Reciprocal of 0, infinity. Reciprocal of 1 by 2. Reciprocal of 1 by root. That means root 2. Means 1 by 2 means 2 by 1. 3 by 2 means 2 by 3. That is called reciprocal. And now what is the reciprocal of root 3 by 2? 2 by root 3. Reciprocal of 1? 1 itself. Then we know that what is the reciprocal of secant is cos. If you reverse these values, you will get secant or reciprocal of cos also. So I am reversing this. 1, 2 by root 3, root 2 and undefined. Coming to the cot. Cot is the reciprocal of the tan, or reversing the tan values also get. Infinity, root 3, 1, 1 by root 3 and 0. These are the standard angle table for the 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Ma'am, I want to find out the angle for the sine 210 degrees, or I want to know that what is the value of tan 300 degrees, or I want the value of cos 150 or sine 120. But we know only 5 standard angle values. What are the 5 standard angle values? 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. But I don't know these values. Then how can I find out? By learning how these angles behave in the different coordinates. If you know, you can guess that what are the values other than these standard angle. These are called structural angle. Now we are learning about how to calculate the structural values of all these angles what we have required. This is the Cartesian plane or coordinate plane. You know this is the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 as well as quadrant 4. What are the region of quadrant 1 is both x and y coordinates are the greater than the 0. If we think this Cartesian plane is a complete one, it's completely tells the 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90, 90, totally 360 degrees. If one terminal ray starts its rotation from the OX ray to again it come back to OX, it completes the 360 degrees. Nothing but first quadrant 90 degrees, next quadrant is further 90, next 90, next 90. Nothing but it is varies from 0 degrees to 90 degrees. It is varies from 90 degrees to 180 degrees. It varies from 180 degrees to 270 degrees. 270 degrees to 360 degrees. Now in what way you can find out what is the, that means what we can say that the angles whichever are less than 90 degrees but above 0 degree will be lies in the first quadrant. Above 0 and below 90 is nothing but, can I write 90 degrees minus some angle. Some angle, that angle is 1 degree, 2 degree or whatever it is. 0 to 90, 0 means x axis, 90 means y-axis. In between 0 to 90, it is the first quadrant. That means 90 minus theta. 90 minus theta according to radian measure pi by 2 minus theta. Coming to that, above 90 value but below 180 value will be the second quadrant. Nothing but can we write it as 90 plus theta and 180 minus theta means below 180, above 90. Now, if you observe the third quadrant, somewhat above the 180 degrees because it is 180 to 270. So 180 plus theta, 270 minus theta. So you can write it is pi plus theta. It is 270 means anyhow 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Here it is pi by 2 plus theta, pi minus theta. Next, this is the more than 270 but less than the 360 values. So it is 3 pi by 2 plus theta and 2 pi plus and 2 pi minus theta. Obviously, if it is 360 means it will complete. If it is doing more means above 360 is nothing but starting the acute obtuse again rotation starts. That means if it is above 360 degrees will be comes to the first quadrant which is the 2 pi plus theta. This is the distribution of measurement of the all the structural values how they are. That means 90 minus theta, 90 plus theta, 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, like that. If you observe that totally what we got 90 plus or minus theta, 180 plus or minus theta, 270 plus or minus theta, 360 plus or minus theta. Totally 8 structural forms we got. In this 90 degrees, in this I am trying to find the what are the multiples of right angle. What are the multiples of right angle? They are 90, 180, 270 and 360. That means usually the angle which is formed by the odd multiple. These are even number but I am saying odd multiple. Now tell me that which are the odd multiples of 90 degrees are? They are 90 degrees and 270 degrees. 90 and 270. If 90 and 270 are odd multiple, definitely 180 and 360 are even multiples. So now the structural angles are of two categories. Now structural angles are of two categories. They are odd multiples of 90 degrees, even multiples of 90 degrees. Nothing but usually which angle is expressed in the form of 90 plus or minus theta and 270 plus or minus theta are considered the odd function, where the angles which are can be expressed in the form of 180 plus or minus theta and 360 plus or minus theta are said to be called even function. Now we categorized them into odd and even function. But what is our topic, ma'am? Our topic is how to find out the other than 0, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees are there. How to find out the value? But to find out this one, we need to know about the nature of such trigonometric ratio in a different quadrant. That I am saying. Usually, in the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive in the nature. Means sine, cos, tan, cot, cosecant, secant. But in second quadrant, only sine and its reciprocal cosecant are positive. In third quadrant, only tan and cot are positive. In fourth quadrant, cos and its reciprocal secant are positive. What is the nature of the different trigonometric ratios? Usually in the first quadrant all ratios are positive in nature. But in second quadrant, sin theta and its reciprocal is cosecant is positive. In third quadrant, tan and its reciprocal cot is positive. And in fourth quadrant, cos and its reciprocal secant is positive. That means in which quadrant tan is positive? Tan is positive in Q3 as well as in Q1. And in which quadrant cos is negative? Cos is negative in second quadrant as well as third quadrant. Now, but it is difficult to remember because here some sin and cosecant only, here tan and cot only, here cos and secant only. That is why we are having a brass that is all silver. Silver means that sin, yes, sin and its reciprocal cosecant. So T stands for tan and its reciprocal cot. Cups. C stands for cos and its reciprocal secant. Now we got the what is the nature of the all six ratios in the four different quadrant, and also the measure of an angle belongs to which quadrant also we got. Then what is the learning about odd or even? Very simple. Odd function is always a changeable function. It is not changeable. That means whenever you are expressing an angle to find out its measure, if you are using an odd function, it is a changeable to sin will change to cos, where cos will change to sin, where tan will change to cot, where cot to change to tan, and cosecant changes to secant and secant changes to cosecant. And don't think that this is linked with the reciprocal. Reciprocal is different, changeable ratios are different. This is about information about the nature of ratios. Now, what is our topic? I want to find out tan 210 degrees. Whenever we are calculating the tan 210 degrees, in what way we will do that? Now, can I express tan theta, can I express tan 210 degrees as 200 plus 10? Yes, we can write. Or can I express tan 210 is equal to 180 plus 30? And tan 220 minus 10? Or can I express tan 210 as 270 minus 60? So many ways are there expressing tan 210 degrees as a sum of any two angle or difference between any two angle. But among them, what is the suitable way? Only this and this. Why? Remaining values are not referring the structural angle. Which are structural angle for us? 90, 180, 360, 270. But no 200, not 220. These are correct only, but they are not structural form. So while you want to find out any value for the tan 210, express it into the sum or difference of any structural angle and any other measurement. So I am leaving the only this and this, rest of the time I will see. Now I have written tan 210 is 180 plus 30. Ma'am, you told that any structural value you can take it. Why can't we take 90 plus 120? So for 210, which is the nearest value, we should take that one. That 210 nearest value is 180 or 270. Cannot be the 90 or maybe 360, cannot be nearest. That is why I expressed 210 degrees in 180 plus 30. Then another reason is 210 is in between the 180 and 270, which belongs to the third quadrant. Third quadrant, in what way the structural form is 180 plus theta and 270 minus. So I written. After writing that, just identify that it is the whether even one or an odd function. Yes, it is an even function. Even function means no change is there right there. What is the no change means? Tan is as a tan. Later, just suppress the structural form, write that 30. It is a tan 30. That's it. Yes. But observe that tan 210 degrees, which is 180 plus theta, which is 180 plus theta in the which quadrant? The quadrant is third quadrant. In third quadrant, tan is positive. Then plus tan 30. We know tan 30 value is 1 by root 3. So tan 210 degrees is also equal to 1 by root 3. Then can we use this 270 minus 60 also? Will we get the same answer or not? Let us see. Now tan 270 minus 60 degrees. Now 270 is what? It is the odd function. Odd function is changeable. How it is changed? Tan changes to cot. Suppress the structural value. What is the acute value of the angle left is 60. It is in which quadrant? After writing the measurement, we should go for the its nature, means positive or negative. How can we know positive or negative? Because it is in Q3. How we know it is in Q3? Because it is in the form of 270 minus theta. Usually 270 minus theta in Q3. Q3 means cot is positive. So plus cot 60. So it is 1 by root 3. Now I want to find out sin 300 degrees. I told you that whenever we want to find out an angle of any ratio, it must be either a standard angle or maybe structural form you can. Now can you find out sin 300 degrees? Yes, by expressing this one as a either sum or maybe difference of any structural angle and any standard angle. So how can you express 300? You can express sin 300 as sin 360 minus 60. What we subtract from the 360, we get that 300 is 60. Now how can we find out is, first of all, identifying the structural angle is an even angle or odd angle. It is an even. Even means there is no change in the ratio, sin as sin. Sin as sin. Now sin, this is can be taken as 60 after suppressing. After completion of that, we go for the nature. What is the nature? Sin of 360 minus theta means it is in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, which are positive, cos and secant. Is sin positive? No, sin is negative. That is why minus sin 60. Minus sin 60 means minus root 3 by 2. Then how can I write that? Sin 300 in another way with, you can express sin 300 as 270 plus 30. 270 is an odd function, so sin will changes into cos. After suppressing the structural value, we got cos 30. But nature is, it is also in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, sin is negative. Ma'am, cos is positive only, that's why can we write plus. We should not identify the after changing. Before changing, original value we should take. Originally they given sin to you or cos sin. That is why it is minus. Now sin is converted into cos and that too sin is negative. Sin is negative. That's why value is minus cos 30. So you can write minus root 3 by 2, as that cos 30 value is root 3 by 2. In the same manner, cos 150, secant 240, like a tan 360 plus alpha also. Here I have listed the what are the trigonometric ratios and their corresponding range. What is meant by the range? Mean sine can be -1 or can be, its value can be 1, but its value cannot be less than the -1 as well as more than the -1. In what way they can ask you, and how it is useful, this particular range table, how it is useful to you, let me explain. 0.9 less than the 1, yes it is possible. Sin theta equal to -3/5, nothing but -0.6, that also possible. 4/3, which is the 1.33 around. Usually I told you that sin is varies from -1 to 1, that means it cannot be more than 1. So sin is maybe 4/3 means not possible. It's no solution for that. And but here it is -999 by 1001. Nothing but some minimum value of 4 sin theta minus 3. We know that the minimum value of sin is -1. Now what is the minimum value of 4 sin theta minus 3? Possible minimum value. We all know that sin theta is varies in between -1 to 1. But you want sin theta or 4 sin theta minus 3? Yes, we want not sin theta, 4 sin theta minus 3. So simply let me take a 4. How? By multiplying with 4 on both of the inequation. Later you want 4 sin theta or minus 4 sin theta you want, or 4 sin theta minus 3? I want 4 sin theta minus 3. So subtract -3 both sides. Now -7 is less than or equal to 4 sin theta minus 3 less than or equal to 1. So what is the minimum value of 4 sin theta minus 3 is simply its value is -7. Rather than using the inequation method, with the help of a simple range formula, so we can find out that if a sin theta plus b cos theta plus c is some trigonometric equation, the range of the such trigonometric equation is, this is the range of the a sin theta plus b cos theta plus c some constant is there. It is the minimum value, it is the maximum value in the range. Now if you observe that they given 4 sin theta minus 3. Now let us compare this one with the our general form of the trigonometric equation in terms of sin and cos. A equal to 4, there is no cos theta term. Let us take b equal to 0, constant term is -3. You want a minimum. What is the formula for that? C minus root over a square plus b square. -3 minus root over a square plus b square. A square means 4 square plus 0 square. -3 minus root 16. -3 minus 4, then -7. Even with the help of the formula also, we will get the minimum or maximum values of nothing but range of the sin or cos. Like this you can find it. It is very important for the MCET level type of MCQs. Let's move to the last concept in our video. In this video I have started from the basic level to whatever the until the trigonometric ratio to learn about the negative angle. Whenever the angle is in a negative direction, how can we calculate its value? Simply, if you observe that OM and OP are the two arms of an angle POM, it makes a measure with respect to x-axis in a positive direction is theta. By taking the same measurement in a clockwise direction, you may get that minus theta. Minus theta means here we have measured this one in a clockwise direction. This is in a counterclockwise. So positive direction or negative direction. So it will be P dash. Definitely it is x comma some minus 1. There is the same radius as that it is an hypotenuse. Let us think it is an r. But now it is obviously x, y, but it is minus 1. For the minus theta, perpendicular is, we know that if the angle of reference is there, for that opposite side of the angle of reference is perpendicular. So perpendicular is minus y. Hypotenuse is opposite to right angle, which is r. Then what is the left one? That is the base is equal to x. Now sine of minus theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. What is the perpendicular for the minus theta is minus y by r, minus y by r. For angle theta, perpendicular is nothing but PM, which is y. Hypotenuse is r, where base is the x. So can I write sin theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse? What is the perpendicular here? Y. What is the hypotenuse here? R. So y by r. So can we write this y by r as sin theta? Yes. Now can we write that sin of minus theta equal to minus sin theta? Yes, we can write. That means what we can say is sin of minus theta is equal to minus sin theta. Cos of minus theta is equal to plus cos theta, as it is having a positive base. That means you have understood which are the negative, which are related with the perpendicular side are negative, which are not having a link with the perpendicular, those are positive. Nothing but cos and its reciprocal secant are positive in nature. Even the angle is measured in the clockwise direction, nothing but which is we call as a negative direction. These are the list of the negative angles. So sin of minus theta minus sin theta, cos of minus theta plus cos theta, tan of minus theta it is minus tan theta, cot of minus theta is equal to minus cot theta, secant of minus theta equal to minus cosecant theta, secant of minus theta equal to plus secant theta. These are the list. The sum or difference of any two angles are said to be called compound angles. Now we are going to learn the various compound angle formulas for the different trigonometric ratios. First of all, sin of A plus B is equal to sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Our first PYQ is about MSET 2010 problem. A sin square theta plus B cos square theta equal to C, then tan square theta is. They are given in terms of sin and cos. We are asking you to find out the tan square theta value. There itself you can understand that A sin square theta plus B cos square theta is equal to C, mean as we learn tan theta can be expressed as sin theta by cos theta, right? So by cos square theta, I am dividing both with cos square theta. So A into, we know that sin by cos is tan, means sin square theta by cos square theta is A tan square theta, plus B equal to 1 by cos, means we know it is secant square theta. But we don't require all these, we need in terms of tan. So let me write that A tan square theta plus B. But secant square theta was not eliminated. In what way I can write secant square theta? With the help of identity. We know that secant square theta is nothing but 1 plus tan square theta. In terms of identity will end this one. A tan square theta plus b, c plus c tan square theta. Make that tan square terms are one side, rest of the terms on other side of it transposed. You got c minus b. Take out tan square theta is out. A minus c equal to c minus. Then clearly tan square theta is equal to c minus b by a minus c. Go for the option verification. C minus b by a minus c. Then option 2 is the correct one. Let's move to the problem number 2, which is given in EAMCET 2004. Sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2 plus sin theta 3 equal to 3 is given. We all know that sin is having the maximum value is 1. So 3 is coming means this is 1, this is maximum 1, this is 1. Yet what value of sin gives you 1 means yes, your guess is correct. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 all are 90 degrees. We know cos 90 degrees plus cos 90 degrees plus cos 90. You know cos 90 value is 0. 0 plus 0 plus 0. Then simply answer is 0. Now coming to that third problem, they given cos of alpha plus beta is 4 by 5. Sin of alpha minus beta is 5 by 30. Ma'am, we know that cos of alpha plus beta is cos alpha cos beta plus sin alpha minus sin alpha sin beta 4 by 5 and sin alpha sin beta and sin alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sin beta equal to 5 by 30. But we didn't get that tan 2 alpha value. So expanding the compound angle may not be suitable to do here. Then what we supposed to do? If they given the compound angle like this, but they are asking you to find out the tan 2 alpha. Let's do now. Now cos of alpha plus beta is 4 by 5. Then find out tan of alpha plus beta value. We know cos is 4 by 5 means definitely cos is the somewhat base and hypotenuse. Base is 4 and hypotenuse is 5. With the help of the Pythagoras, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. Then it is 5 square is equal to 4 square plus p square, where p is equal to 3. So you can write tan is equal to 3 by 4. Coming to sin of alpha minus beta is equal to 5 by 13, where it is perpendicular and hypotenuse. Just to find out the base value with the help of Pythagoras theorem, 13 square is equal to, base is what we don't know, that only b square. Perpendicular is what? 5 square. 169 equal to base square plus 20. Then 169 minus 25 equal to base square, where base is equal to root over 144, which is 12. Simply tan of alpha minus beta is 5 by 12. But what you require? Do you need the tan of alpha plus beta and tan of alpha minus beta? No. You need the tan 2 alpha value. Can I write 2 alpha as alpha plus alpha? Add it and subtract the beta. Now alpha plus beta, alpha minus beta together give you 2 alpha. Let me take it is A and B. Now tan 2 alpha can be written as tan of A plus B. Then tan B is this and tan A is this. Now you know that how to write the compound angle of tan of A plus B by using tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Simplify it. Tan A value is 3 by 4. plus tan B value is 5 by 12 by 1 minus 3 by 4 into 5 by 2. Simplify it. Then the answer here 56 by 33 by simplifying. Let's move to the next P1. Now look at the given problem. If 3 sin P plus 4 cos Q equal to 6 and 4 sin Q plus 3 cos P equal to 1, then they are asking you to find out what the angle RB. Whenever they have a given like this, one thing is clear, we have to use the what we supposed to use? It's identity. Do you know that sin and cos relevant identity is that in sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. For that, what I am trying to do is I am going to square it on. I am trying to square it on both sides for the both. Now by adding these two, you get that 9 sin square P plus 9 cos square P will give you 9. 16 cos square Q and 16 sin square Q give you 16. 24 sin P cos Q plus 24 cos P sin Q. We can't add it, but take it. 24 is out. Sin P cos Q plus cos P sin Q is equal to 37. Let us simplify. 24 into, we all know that it's looking like sin A cos B plus cos A sin B is nothing but sin of P plus Q, which is equal to 37 minus 9 plus 16 is 25. So 24 into sin of P plus Q is equal to 12. 2 times and 1 time, where sin of P plus Q is equal to 1 by 2. Then you will get that at what value of sin is 1 by 2 means obviously at the value of sin 30 it gives that 1 by 2. P plus Q is 30. But they are asking you to find out what will be the angle R. We know that P plus Q plus R equal to 180 as it is a triangle. In a triangle, according to angle sum property, sum of all interior angles is 180 degree. Then P plus Q value is 30. 30 plus R equal to 180. Where R is equal to 150. Convert this one in terms of radian method by multiplying with pi by 180. 5 times and 6 times. R is equal to 5 pi by 6. Then answer is 5 pi by 6 will be the answer. Option C. Let us move to the next problem. Now look at the fifth problem. If tan theta 1 is equal to k into cot theta 2, then they are asking you to find out the cos of theta 1 plus theta 2 by cos of theta 1 minus theta 2. Let's observe the options here. Now by looking the options here, one thing is clear, something is added to the k and subtracted also. Then like this situation is arise, just observe the given one. What is the given condition is? Tan theta 1 is equal to k into cot theta 1. You know that you can express the tan theta 1 as sin theta 1 by cos theta 1. Which is k into cos theta 2 by sin theta 1. As we know that cot theta by 2 can be written as cos theta by 2 by sin theta by 2. Let us transpose this side, then sin theta 1 into sin theta 2 by cos theta 1 into cos theta 2 equal to k. But here something is looking like a k, but they are asking some k plus 1, k minus 1. So go for the compoundo and dividendo. We all know what is compoundo and dividendo. That is simple. If a by b is equal to some other ratio c by d, then a plus b by a minus b equal to c plus d by c minus d. Now sin theta 1 into sin theta 2 plus cos theta 1 into cos theta 2 by numerator plus denominator. Now numerator again, what is the numerator here? Sin theta 1 into sin theta 2 minus denominator. What is the denominator? Cos theta 1 into cos theta 2 is equal to again numerator plus denominator by numerator minus denominator. We all know that sin A sin B plus cos A cos B is nothing but cos of A minus B. What is cos of A minus B means here? Cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2 by, if you observe that sin A sin B minus cos A cos B can be written as cos of theta 1 plus theta 2, but here it is reversely there, that's why I taken as minus 1. So here it is k plus 1 by k minus 1, but here because of this negative I am converting k minus 1 as 1 minus k, then I got it cos of theta 1 minus theta 2 by cos of theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to k plus 1 by 1 minus k. But they asked the reciprocal of this. What is the reciprocal of k plus 1 by 1 minus k is? That is 1 minus k by k plus 1. Option 2 is correct. It was given in the MSET 2017 TS. Very important problem. Let's move to the next one. The next PYQ which is given in the MSET 2017, but they given here 2017, I modified it as 2021. It is lies in which quadrant they are asking you. Very simple. We know cosecant theta minus cot theta is equal to 2021. We know that cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. It is looking like a plus b into a minus b. That means cosecant theta plus cot theta into cosecant theta minus cot theta is equal to 1. So if you observe that cosecant theta minus cot theta and cosecant theta plus cot theta are reciprocal to each other. If it is a, then other value will be 1 by a. So cosecant theta plus cot theta value equal to 1 by 2021. Let's add it. 2 cosecant theta is equal to 2021 plus 1 by 2021. Now they asked you to find out theta is lies in which quadrant, but they did not ask you about any other value. So what we will do is 2021 whole square plus 1 by 2021, where cosecant theta is there, into 2 will be written as by 2. So whether it is we need to solve is without solving, just write it is positive. In which quadrant cosecant is positive? Clearly first and second quadrant. But how can we confirm that theta is belongs to which quadrant? To confirm that, just these factors are going to be subtracted now. Then it is minus 2 cot theta is equal to 2021 minus 1 by 2020. Then it is 2021 whole square minus 1 by 2020. Where minus 2 cot theta is 2021 whole square minus 1 by 2020. Clearly cos theta is equal to 1 minus 2021 whole square by 2020. Is it required to verify whether it is positive or negative? Definitely it is negative, as we know that 2021 is much bigger than the one. When you are subtracting, definitely you will get negative. In which quadrant cot is negative? Mean cot is negative in second and fourth quadrant. Common quadrant for the both is second quadrant. So theta lies in second quadrant. Like this problem they have given without actually calculating their value, whether they are positive or negative, we will verify that. They are maybe positive, means what we will do is in which quadrant they are in. If they are negative means that corresponding quadrant we have observed that, then common quadrant for the both we can do it. Let's move to the next problem. Now look at the problem number 7. If sin theta plus sin square theta is 1 and also cos power 12 theta plus a into cos power 10 theta plus b into cos power 8 theta plus c into cos power 6 theta plus d equal to 0. Very simple. First of all, can I write sin theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta? Then sin theta is equal to cos square theta. By observing the given condition, cos power 12 can be written as cos theta cos square theta whole power 6 plus a into cos square theta whole power 5 plus b into cos square theta whole power 4 plus c into cos square theta whole power 3 plus d is some 0 they say. Very clearly cos square theta values we know that it is sin power 6 theta plus a into sin power 5 theta plus b into sin power 4 theta plus c into sin cube theta plus d equal to 0. Sin power 6 theta can be written as sin square theta whole cube plus a into sin square theta whole square into some gap plus b into sin square theta into some gap plus c into sin cube theta means sin theta whole cube plus d. One thing is clear, it is looking sin theta whole cube, sin theta whole cube. So here I can write sin theta, here I can write sin theta whole square. By observing this total, it is looking like some x cube plus 3x square y plus 3xy square plus y cube. Nothing but it is looking like x plus y whole cube expand. Clearly a value is 3, b value is 3, c value is 1. So I can write that a value is 3 because it must be a perfect cube. Perfect cube means in their expansion 3, 1 should be there. So a value is 3, b value is 3, c value is 1. Then what about d value means? This entire we can be expressed as sin square theta plus sin theta whole cube plus d equal to 0. We already know that sin square theta plus sin theta value is 1. 1 cube plus d equal to 0 where d value is minus. Now let's verify the options which are gives correctly. A into b 9 is equal to c into d. That means 9 equal to minus 1. No, option 1 is wrong. A into c, okay, 3 into 1, 3. B into d, 3 into minus 1, it's a minus 3. No, plus 3 and minus 3 cannot be. Now AB, A into B, 3 into 3, 9, minus 1 into 1. No, then option 4, 3 plus of minus 3 gives you 0. In this way we can. But in this this problem has given many times in the many MSETs, but in 2017 this one given in this way, not taking the ABC as well as even D also in an absent manner. So this is the somewhat important model. Let us move to the problem number 8. Now see here another important and interesting problem. It is given in the MSET 2016. Sin square 1 degree plus sin square 2 degrees plus and so on, sin square 90 degrees they have asked you. If you observe that adding the all values from 1 degree to 90 degrees means, first of all let me write its value is 45 1 by 2. In what way I have found this one? Let me explain usual method and what is the trick behind it. Sine square 1 degree plus sine square 2 degrees plus and so on. Definitely 90 there means previous value sine square 89 also will be. And sine square 90 degrees also will be. If you observe that 1 degree is there, do you know for 1 degree what is the complementary angle? Complementary means sum of any two angles must be 90 degrees. So 1 degree is complementary with 89 degrees. So can I write sine square 89 as 90 minus 1? In the same manner, sine square 2 degree is complementary with its sine square 88. How can I express sine square 88 as sine square of 90 minus 2? So now sine square 1 degree plus, this is anyhow sine of 90 minus theta, we know it is cos theta. So it is cos square 1 degree. Plus sine square 2 degrees plus, already we know that sine square 88 we have expressed in term of a complementary angle. So it is cos square 2 degree. And so on like that. That means we got 1 from the first pair. So next one, 1. Like that, how many pairs are there? Those many ones will come. So, how can we calculate how many pairs are there? Now, how many values are involved here? From 1 to 90. That means 90 numbers are involved. Among the 90, which are not complementary to other? 1 is complementary with 89, 2 with complementary with 88, 3 with complementary with 87 and so on. But which angle is not having complementary is 45 not having complementary, because 45 will not repeat 2 times. And one more, 90 is also not having a complementary value. That means out of 90 numbers, 88 numbers can be paired up. But rest of the two, that is sine square 45 degrees and sine square 90 degrees cannot be paired within. I told you that from each pair one value will come. So 88 numbers can be paired into how many pairs? There are 44 pairs. Each pair will give one main. 44 pairs will give 44 plus sine square 45 is 1 by root 2 whole square plus it is 1 square. Totally 44 plus 1 by 2, which is 45. 1 by 2 is actually. So this is 45 1 by 2. Then how can we solve this one without using this much lengthy procedure? That is 3, 6, 9 and so on until 90. Clearly these are natural numbers, we got it. But what about this 7, 3, 6, 9 and so on 90? Multiples of 3. Multiples of 3. Which multiples of 3? How many multiples of 3 will be here? There are totally 90 by 3, 30 numbers. How many numbers? 30. Among 30 I told you that remove 2, 20. 28 numbers will give that 14 pairs. 14 plus 9 sine square 90 value 1, sine square 45 value is 1 by 2. Then 15 1 by 2, 31 by 2 is the answer. Without doing this lengthy procedure you can. This problem they have given in EAMCET 2018, which is very very important. It is maybe in HP or these are in AP in what way? Both are same. HP we know that if any three terms are said to be in HP, their reciprocals are in AP. So I am taking the term. Which one is the secant theta plus alpha, secant theta, secant of theta minus alpha. Let me take these are ABC. If any three terms A comma B comma C are in AP, obviously 2B equal to A plus C is the condition. 2 into secant theta is equal to secant of theta plus alpha plus secant of theta minus alpha. We can write that 2 by cos theta is equal, we know that secant theta can be expressed as 1 by cos theta. Now 1 by cos of theta plus alpha plus 1 by cos of theta minus alpha. Let's simplify. 2 by cos theta is equal to, we already know about cos of a plus b and cos of a minus b is nothing but 2 into cos a cos b, that is 2 cos theta cos alpha, by, we already know about whenever there is a cos of a plus b into cos of a minus b, there is a cos square a minus sin square b. 2 and 2 getting cancelled, do cross multiplication. Cos square t cos alpha is equal to cos square theta minus sin square alpha. Now we know that, let us make it cos square theta terms as one side and sin square theta terms are one side, then sin square alpha is equal to cos square theta minus cos square theta cos alpha. Then sin square alpha is equal, take out cos square theta is common, then 1 minus cos alpha. We know that sin alpha can be written as 2 sin alpha by 2 cos alpha by 2 whole square equal to cos square theta into 1 minus cos alpha can be written as 2 sin square alpha by 2. Then it is 4 sin square alpha by 2 cos square alpha by 2 equal to 2 cos square theta into sin square alpha by 2. Sin square alpha by 2, sin square alpha by 2 get cancelled 2 times. Now if you observe that 2 is equal to cos square theta into this cos square alpha by 2 can be transposed as secant square alpha by 2. Just square will become root. Then cos theta into secant alpha by 2 can be written as plus or minus root 2. Then this answer and this is also same. Here it may be 2 and here it is the root 2. Then we got the required one. Let's move to the next one. Now we came to the 10th problem, very important and given in the JEE Mains 2018, which is the very much relevant to the compound angles property. Tan A, tan B are the roots of 3x square minus 10x minus 25 equal to 0. Then they are asking you to find out the value of 3 sin square a plus b minus 10 into sin of a plus b cos of a plus b minus 25 cos square a plus b. First of all, let us think this tan A is alpha and tan B is beta. Then alpha plus beta is minus b by a, which is the minus x coefficient by x square coefficient. So you can write tan A plus tan B is equal to minus of minus 10 by 3, which is 10 by 3. In the same manner, alpha into beta, which is tan A into tan B is equal to C by A. C by A. Here C means minus 25 and x square coefficient A is 3. We got tan A plus tan B and tan A into tan B where, but we want that sin of A plus B where. Then this, we can write tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Tan A plus tan B is equal to 10 by 3 by 1 minus tan A tan B, we got it is minus 25 by 3. Then 1 minus of 25 by 3. Simplify it. 10 by 3. 3 plus 25 by 3. 3 get cancelled. 10 by 28. 5 by 14 will be the required. Then I got the tan of A plus B value. Then what is the use of finding the tan of A plus B mean? You can find out from the tan of A plus B what is the sin of A plus B. and cos of a plus. Than that, first of all, if you divide this entire given one with cos square a plus b, this is some k if you think, k into secant square a plus b. So you will get 3 into tan square a plus b minus 10 into tan of a plus b minus 25 is equal to k into secant square a plus b can be written as 1 plus tan square a plus 3 into what is the tan square a plus b can be written as 5 by 14 whole square minus 10 into 5 by 14 minus 25 k into 1 plus 5 by 14 whole square. Let's simplify. Now 5675 minus 5600 is equal to k into 220. Then k is equal to minus 5525 by 221, which is simply 25 10. Then k is minus 25. Then that you can do even like this also. Tan of a plus b value you got it is 5 by 14. Then you can find out sin of a plus b also by 5 by root over 220. In the same way, cos of a plus b also you can find out by 14 by root over 220. Even if you substitute that also, you will get the required answer is minus 25. These are the 10 problems which are the PYQs relevant to this, and these will be continue for the trigonometric ratios and compound angles in the part 2 with the most excited PYQs. Thank you for watching.